Hey Sharpie, welcome back, and welcome. Imagine everybody's listened to this, so welcome everybody to this most essential of modules. It's such a key one that can make a huge impact to the way we live, the way we feel, and our overall wellness. So this is all about movement matters. Movement really does matter, and if we don't use this body of ours, we lose it, literally. If you don't use it, you lose it. And this body is our vehicle to move us around from A to B, and we're with it 24/7. And it's really key that we look after this body. We've talked about the nutrition and the hydration and the breathing and all of those key things that help our body get the nutrients and the fuel it needs. And now we're going to talk about what to use that fuel for, and that's about movement. And we have a huge problem these days with sedentary lifestyles, and although this body's designed to move, in more recent years, and when I'm talking about recent years, the last 100 years, never mind, that's a small space of time in the whole evolution of human beings. In these most recent times, our bodies have become less and less active. Guess what's also happened? Our bodies have consumed more and more calories. So it's not a good combination. And the problems with not moving our bodies is that we can have all sorts of joint back problems, become more overweight and obese, and the health complications that come with that, higher risk of heart disease, strokes, diabetes with being less active, and it's all it's all having a real impact on the way our bodies perform. So think about this, in the last 100 years there's been so much change that has happened and that is affecting how much movement or how little movement we have. Consider this, what do most people do? Well, a lot of people can wake up in the morning and then they get downstairs and they sit down and they have their breakfast, if they're healthy enough to be having breakfast. And they sit at the table and eat breakfast. Then they go into their car and they sit in the car or in the train or bus on their way to work. And then when they get to work, they go to the desk and they sit in front of a box of a laptop or PC, and then they're doing their work, sat down for a number of hours a day. Then they go back into their transport home, sitting down in front of their table and eating their tea, and then end up maybe in front of another box, this time being the TV, and sat down for a few hours or in front of a laptop and on the internet, etc. at the end of the day. So a lot of time of a lot of people's days can be set in this position, sat down. The body needs to move. It really does. It needs movement. It keeps energy moving around our body. It helps our structural system, our muscles and our bones kind of keep mobile and with mobility and balance and coordination. We are designed to move. We were born to move. And we need to start taking time out to move more. Now, many people kind of say, well, yeah, we never needed gyms years ago, and they're right. Lifestyle was different. A few thousand years ago, we used to have to farm our land to make our food, and that was the necessity of life. So we would be walking a lot further, we would be active in our daily lives. Even as kind of the industrial jobs came on board, people were more active in their jobs. And then until the kind of movement of computers and the IT revolution. And that and the motor car, and those are the two things, and TV, those are the kind of three things that have really meant we've become more and more sedentary, hugely. Think about some of the manual jobs people used to have, and think about the jobs now, Most people are sat down for their jobs throughout their whole working day. So, bear with me, Sharpie, on this. I just want to try and get this into a bit more structure. Hopefully you can help with this, I'm sure you can. So think about modern day lifestyle, how not only the jobs, but how has our kind of appliances and IT and computers changed the way we live our home lives. We've got dishwashers now, we've got washing machines now. Years ago, people have been in front of a river washing their clothes and crouched down and using their muscles and bodies. We've got the internet now, so we can just press buttons to go shopping. We don't even have to go to the shopping centres. But even if we did go to the shopping centres, they have escalators and lifts, and so we don't have to even walk upstairs. They have electronic doors that open up so that we don't even have to push a door to become more active. So all sorts of inventions have made our lives far more easier than they were before. And even people are spending their leisure time differently. All of these appliances have meant we've got more time. Does it feel like it? Often not. But we then tend to fill it with leisure activities, potentially a lot more on the internet and a lot more on TV for a lot of people. And it'd be interesting working out how many hours we spend of our spare time in front of TVs and laptops. Really, really interesting. Do yourself a tally chart. Maybe try it yourself and see where your time's being spent. So, people say, we never needed gyms before, and I kind of agree, we didn't. But actually because of modern day lifestyle, because of modern day jobs, we actually need to go out of our way to move our body in the forms of exercise and gyms and exercise classes and sports, etc. Things that we didn't need to do before to stay healthy and well and healthy body weight, etc. Because that just everything that we did normally in our lifestyle and in our work jobs and our working days was more active. The world was our gym. Our lifestyles was our gym. Now we need to take the time out and schedule it into our days and weeks to make ourselves move more. Yes, we can kind of look to add a bit more walking into our routine or cycling to work, or yes, we can make that part of our kind of daily living more, which is great if you can. But I'd still say, we need to also look at other alternatives too. So, what are the benefits of exercise? Well, we all know that exercise helps improve our heart health. The heart is like a most important muscle in our body. And our heart, when we exercise, strengthens and tones and works more efficiently. So literally, if we are fitter from doing exercise and we exercise our heart, then our heart doesn't have to beat as many times in a minute to pump the blood around our body to help us stay alive and to help us get more from our body and daily life and activity. So, literally, our heart becomes a more efficient pump than when we exercise it, the more we exercise. And then we've got our lungs, which are great. When we exercise, we increase our breathing and lung efficiency too. What else? It increases our energy levels, as long as we're doing the right exercise, and I'll come to that later. It's really, really key point, but energy levels, when we move our body, it moves energy around our body, it gets circulation going. So literally people feel more energetic on the back of more movement. It increases our metabolism. We're going to talk a little bit later about weight management and how exercise can play a really key role in controlling our body weight. We're going to touch on that. It can help with our balance and stability, and particularly as we get older and as we age, we can reduce the risk of falls by improving our structure and strength of our body and our stability and our balance, etc. It improves posture. Really, really key one this, because posture affects the way we feel, affects the way we think, affects the way we breathe, affects the way our whole body functions. Posture is really, really key. And for many people, if they're doing a lot of computer work, etc., and driving, they can get a posture that starts to curve around like this. It's a little bit like they're carrying the weight on their shoulders. Their shoulders are kind of rolling inwards, and their upper back is kind of arching over, and their head can be kind of more down. And let's just face it, if we try it now, Sharpie. I expect you to be just rolling over now with your posture. And I want you to take a moment to think about how you feel in this downward position. Probably a bit down, would you agree? How do you think we're going to be able to breathe in this position? Are we feeling positive, strong? What we need to do is change it. I want you just right now to sit up tall in your spine, and back of the neck lengthened, and I want you to open your shoulders up a little bit as well, okay? So, sitting tall, have a little think and feel about how you are, how you feel and think now. Yeah? How well do you think you're going to be able to breathe in this position? Yeah, much better. Yeah, we feel more strong, more positive, and more energetic as a whole. So posture is really key to making us feel more confident is another one. Do you think this leads to confidence and self-esteem? This does. Stand tall, and then when I say stand tall, I also say to my class, walk tall. When you're walking down the street, don't walk down the street like this. Think about walking tall when you walk down the street. See the world around you, take it in. It's a beautiful place, and with beautiful people. Just throw that one in there. So, open shoulders, great posture. Now, exercise can really help strengthen your good posture as long as you do the right exercise in the right posture. A great exercise regime to follow is Pilates. Pilates is a fantastic exercise program to improve posture and your whole core function and spinal stability. Okay? So, if you know that your posture is not great and it's affecting the way you feel and think, get yourself down to a good Pilates class. Get a good teacher to teach you how to hold your posture and how to get better posture. Strengthen the muscles in a good posture to support and integrate that good posture and to cement in that good posture to your overall well-being. So exercise can be helpful for that, the right stretches and strengthening exercises. What else? Well, exercise reduces the risk of developing heart disease, various cancers, and things like osteoporosis. Research has shown that exercise can slow down or help prevent heart disease, strokes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, arthritis, osteoporosis, and loss of muscle mass. Exercise is great for that. Exercise can help reduce stress. Take note, as long as it's the right exercise, I'm going to cover that a little bit in a short while. As long as it's the right exercise, it will reduce stress. Certain exercise could increase stress. What else? It helps with, as long as you don't overdo it, it can help boost your immune system. It's awesome for helping with weight management. So, if you're somebody who knows you're carrying a few more pounds or stone than is good for you, than is good for your health and the way you feel, then exercise is a really important part of a weight management regime. Yes, we know a huge percentage of it is going to be good nutrition and lifestyle factors and getting the body functioning right. But also a key part is your exercise. Just on a note on this one, what exercise is helpful with weight management? Well, generally what you want to be looking at, one of the best forms of exercise to reduce body weight is resistance training. That means training with objects or weights that are going to be provide resistance when you push or pull them. Okay? What you want to be doing is strengthening and toning your muscles. And what that does is, the reason for that is because, well, imagine here I've got fat in this hand and I've got the same amount in centimetres of muscle. Fat just sits there. Yeah, it has no kind of energy requirement, it just sits there. Muscle needs energy to work. Okay? So literally, if you've got more muscle strength and tone, your muscles will be using up more excess sugar and energy in your body. Just sitting at work and just sleeping at night, your muscles will be using more fuel. Okay? So you'll turn your body into a fat-burning furnace if you have more muscle tone, muscle strength. Okay? And so that is the best form, is to be doing resistance training at least 3 times a week. And that might just be for half an hour. 3 times a week would be a great start to a weight management program. The other thing you could look at as well, and certainly recommend adding in, is at least 2 or 3 times a week getting in half an hour's worth of cardiovascular exercise. So that is the heart, that is the lungs working, and so you can do that in short, intense bursts, or it's probably the best where you exercise quite hard for a minute, and then you rest nice and easy movements for 2 minutes. So it might be, for example, running for a minute, or walking up a really steep hill for a minute, and then walking really easily for 2 minutes, and doing that 5 times, for example, after a good warm-up would be a great way to work the cardiovascular system. So, weight management. Exercise can be key for weight management.